So welcome to Messages from the Universe, September 2024 edition.
What timeline are we in?
Yeah, that was a good one. Yeah, it's very intense. We always follow spirit, and so even whenever we plan these, it's not a logical process. We're just like, yeah, we're going to pick this date, and it always lands in such a beautiful, synchronistic way. Just as validation and how that process works, but also this week's been intense, with that full moon, partial lunar eclipse, and just like the new energy that's coming into the planet along with moving into the equinox. So yes, it has been intense. Has everyone felt it, right? So as you, even though it has been intense, it really is a very powerful, amazing, magical time too. And so though our experiences of this shift can be tumultuous depending on where you're at and what your experience is. And so hopefully through this class, you'll leave differently than you came. You'll feel connected because truly there is on the other side of this, and why that tumultuousness is happening is truly to help you step into who you truly are, which is a very harmonious, beautiful, peaceful place. So hopefully we can help you tap into that reality too. Last month it really was about kind of behaving differently. I mean, that was one of the themes, was starting to behave differently. That spirit really wanted us to start implementing new habits and being very conscious of like, no, it's time to start behaving differently, meaning action-oriented things that are aligned with what your higher self and your heart wants. And this month, it truly is about, you can see it in the painting. It's a very powerful, almost otherworldly space that you all have access to touching by going within. So in some ways, we can't talk that at you. We can talk with you about how to enter your own red tent. And that's partly what we do in all of these classes and all of the retreats and things that we do, is we teach you how to cultivate your own red tent, because that is the sweet spot, and there's a lot of beautiful nuances in the painting that help us discover the doorway. I didn't know I was going to say that, but the doorway to the red tent, and basically to how to tap into the multidimensionality of our being.
So really just a reminder of who you are. So the maybe imbalances or the discomfort is allowing us the opportunity to go within, right? Things are definitely not as they seem. So if you have any doubt, just spend about 20 seconds with that painting. And you can tell that, all is in perfect balance, all is in perfect flow. How do I feel? What's going on inside of me? How might I shift or let go even more, right? So this is a lot about an experience, and I want to check in with you. Do you want to read your story, or is that just for pull it out? So I wonder if I can put us through the experience, and then you can read it as we're coming out. Would that be okay?
Yeah.
Because then we're kind of in that frequency, and then you can go through your stance and your voice and your power and bring it through with a beautiful painting.
Yeah.
So for those of you that have never done this before, so we like to start with an experience to allow ourselves to align with the energies that want to come through. So I'm going to invite you to just get comfortable, uncross any crossings in your beautiful body. So uncrossing, and then I'm going to close my eyes. So I invite you to also close your eyes and just get as comfortable as you can. I know these beautiful black chairs that we have are so beautifully comfortable. And that's okay. We'll notice and be grateful to be sitting in these chairs and being all together on this beautiful day in this beautiful energy. And I invite you to notice your breath. And just slow your breath down. Slowly as it's comfortable, just allow yourself to become fully present in this moment. And part of that always, for me, is about just doing that little body scan and releasing any tension. And we'll start with the top of our head and just feeling into our forehead and our eyes and our jaw, our ears, and just relax that part of the body. And then scanning down to your neck and your shoulders and your chest, and relax. Moving down to your heart and your stomach, your beautiful intestines. And again, just allow yourself to release any tension, any stress, any worries, any doubts, any vulnerabilities or insecurities. Just letting them go and allowing yourself to be fully present in that breath. Moving down to the lower intestines, your bottom, your hips, your thighs. And again, release any anger, any resentment, any stress, any pressure, any fear. Moving down to your knees and your ankles and your toes. And I'm going to honor our beautiful shoulders and our arms, our elbows and our wrists and our fingers. And again, just feeling into those parts of your body and letting go of any tension. And breathe. I am going to invite you to breathe in through your nose as slowly as is comfortable. And when you're filled up completely, I'm just going to invite you to hold your breath, again, for as long as you can that's comfortable. And then breathe out through your mouth, again, as slowly as is comfortable. And let's do that a couple of times. Just that slow breath through the nose. Holding at the very top. And then exhaling through the mouth, again, slower than that. And again, noticing your beautiful body and letting go of any tension, again, any stress. Just noticing that beautiful breath that's effortless, that's always there for you. I'm going to invite you to breathe in whatever way is comfortable for you. And I'd like to honor and thank all of our beautiful loving guides and angels. All those in the universe that are helping us remember who we really are. Thank you as always for helping us see what it is that we need to see, hear what it is that we need to hear, do what it is that we need to do, feel what it is that we need to feel, say what it is that we need to say, for our highest and greatest good this day and every day. And if I forgot any of the elements, just include those in that beautiful intention. I'd like to honor and thank all of our ancestors, all those that have stood before us, that have helped make this possible, this energy shift, this awakening for each and every one of us. I'd like to honor all of those that will come after, who choose love, find peace. I honor you and thank you. And I'm breathing in this gratefulness, this gratitude, this surrender. I invite you to let go of anything that comes to mind in this moment, anything that no longer serves you, any worries, any doubts, any problems, any dis-ease, any illnesses, anything that's been worrying you, a job or a partner, whatever it is, your home, your chores. For just a moment, let go. Just imagine giving them back to Source, giving them back to the sun, giving them back to the earth, whatever works for you. Just letting go. Very nice. And here I invite you to connect with, feel into all the other human souls on this planet right now, who are opening their hearts, who are spreading their light, who are choosing this peace and this love and this gratitude. who are allowing themselves to heal and grow and expand. And let's send them love out. Everyone who listens in the future, everyone who taps into this beautiful source of unconditional love, as we allow ourselves to receive it, we also give at the exact same time. And I'm being told that we need to spend some more time on receiving for a minute. Doesn't that make some sense? So here I'm going to invite you to touch your beautiful heart, wherever you feel guided to connect in your heart space. Just touching your beautiful body with whatever hand works for you. And I'm going to invite you to say and feel within yourself, I love you. I love yourself. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you so much for choosing love and helping me remember who I am, and helping me see love everywhere. Thank you for helping me shift into a frequency, a reality of abundance and acceptance. Thank you for helping every single cell in this vessel vibrate with the frequency of love, of the great I am that I am. And my dear friends, I invite you to open yourself just a little bit more, allowing yourself to receive more love. And I'm going to push again, and I'm going to invite you to open a little bit more. You are allowed to receive. You are allowed to heal. You are allowed abundance. There we go. And opening your beautiful hearts, I invite you to notice your light. That energy emanating from every part of your being. And I'm going to invite you to turn it up. Maybe you see this as a dial or a switch. Just full stream. Allowing yourself to take up space in your vessel, in your life. Letting go of everything that no longer serves you. Here I invite you to imagine that your feet open up to the earth and they seep down into the beautiful earth and ground in a root into the infinite energy source of this planet. And as you allow yourself to plug in, I invite you to open from your heart space to your throat and your third eye up through the crown chakra and plug into Source, the great I am, God, and allow yourself to receive from above. Thank you for all those that are here helping. Thank you for shifting the energies in this room for every human being that ever feels into this video and this transmission. Thank you for helping us remember our greatness and knowing how loved we really are. Thank you for helping us integrate with the new energies available here, the peacefulness, the joy, the bliss, the abundance. I'm going to invite you to slowly come back. We're going to stay in this energy. All of this help is staying here. And as we do this, Wendy is going to share her story. You keep your eyes shut or open them.
This is what I channeled for this painting earlier today, and this painting invites you to journey within, allowing your inner light to illuminate not just your path, but the essence of who you truly are. You are part of a great awakening. The energies of the earth are rising, reaching towards the stars, and the stars are reaching back. As new dimensions open, we become aware of ancient energies, so old they feel like the mother and the father of the earth. These energies feel both familiar and new, like home. This awakening may ignite your inner fire, urging you to expand and be seen in ways that might feel overwhelming. Yet amidst the intensity, there's a deep calm and peace available. To navigate these unknown times, look within, recognizing what your higher self truly desires and breathe that into life. This is the path to a new age, partnering with spirit to consciously co-create a new earth. Now is the time to express your authentic self in alignment with the cosmic energies awakening around you. Your connection to the ancient forces of the earth and stars empowers you to boldly step into your truth. This is a moment of powerful transformation and rebirth. As you embrace change, your higher self is guiding you to express your deepest desires and dreams without restraint. Though this shift may feel intense, there is a peaceful center within you where your true self can emerge. Release the fear of being seen and let your light shine. You are not just witnessing this new age, you are actively creating it. This painting invites you to partner with spirit, using your unique gifts to shape the world around you. As you align with universal energies, you gain the power to manifest a reality that reflects your highest truth. Trust your intuition as your guide, knowing your future self is leading the way as you transform and integrate your past. This is your true power, embracing the fullness of who you are and expressing it boldly. You got this. It's just September 2024. Just another day.
They only said it would take till 2030, you know. Not this one.
It has been very intense. You know, what that has looked like for me personally has been creating a lot of boundaries, becoming aware very, very loudly what does not align with me anymore, and what I like, what I don't like. And that in itself can create tumultuousness, change. Like you're like, oh, I don't like that. Okay. But in that way, it's also very easy, you know, because it's so loud. Before it wasn't loud, it's loud, and so you couldn't really see. So it's kind of nice. It isn't nice, believe me, I'm in it too. It doesn't always feel nice. It's kind of scary, but at the same time, if you think about it, it really is so much help. So much help. And that, the boundary thing, that's like guiding you, like finding your path, finding your way. And that's going to be so different for every human being. And so that's why that's this new age too. It's like empowerment. It's like empowerment of everyone. It's freedom. Yeah. So, yeah. So that is partly why this painting is birthed in this way. It's in a new way. It really is about creating almost your own, you know, it's your own sacred temple within. It's doing this, but to yourself. It's like, it's all the things that we've always been teaching, which is just learning how to love yourself in a great way. It sounds simple, and it's not necessarily magical, or doesn't sound like, it's not as attractive or whatever, but that is it. If you actually dedicated yourself to that, to loving yourself and figuring out what that is, all of this discord is parts of you that are separate, that are, you're calling yourself back home. So to call yourself those parts that are separate, you know, hate or anger or whatever, calling those parts back to yourself is an act of really learning how to love those separated parts. That's how you create light in the dark. I mean, Brenda teaches all of you guys that beautifully, so I'm just preaching to the choir. But part of this painting, you see a gold disc to the right ear. You know, there's chakras in the ears, which are just energy points, similar, not as intense as, let's say, the 7 that we all know of. If you don't know what I'm talking about, you might want to look that up. It just helps organize where there might be an imbalance in your own energetic system, because we are all light. So as we come back into solid form, you know, we see it as this. Bodies are weird, right? Bodies are weird. I'm just gonna say it. And then us naked is so weird. I'm just gonna name it. It is weird. I don't think anybody looks good naked, sorry. We're weird. I mean, and lovely. Run's gonna be like, love yourself. It's not about that. I just think we're weird. We're like weird elephants or something. Anyways. Like skinless, you know, hairless, weird creatures, but hair in very weird spots. Yeah. Anyways.
No, I would say hairless, but who's not?
Anyways.
This whole night, it's truth with a capital T. That's all I'm hearing. That everything is rock bottom true. True.
Throw the mic. But that disc that's associated. Yeah, where did I go? To the gutter. Anyways. Is your ears to spirit, your ears to your intuition. Because I don't know if you guys have noticed, but the earth is waking up in such a huge way. And because we are, and we're not here to really kind of talk about that, but we are the earth is us, right? That's partly why we're in form. So it is happening as we're awakening. The sun is changing, okay? The universe, honestly, our galaxy is changing. We have access now to energies that we didn't have access to before. But what that means is that we actually have access to other dimensions that we weren't aware of before. So basically, those other dimensions we're becoming aware of, right? And so one would say, like indigo children, I'm just ripping, indigo children, crystal children, all these people that they say that come in lighter, right, is really because they have activated parts of their DNA. And so they have access to these other dimensions that you might not be aware of. So that's why they can see their past lives, or they can talk to ghosts or whatever. They have these other abilities, but it really is, we all have this potential. And really, if you want it, because we are light in form, you can say you want to activate your DNA, and you can activate your DNA to allow for you to almost acclimate to these other dimensions in an easier way. Instead of fighting it, you can almost like allow for it. That's part of this energy here. Some of this dimensional energy that I'm talking about, we start seeing it as dragon energy, but it really is just multidimensional energy in form. And yes, that's not necessarily my thing, but it is really high, intense energy, almost like what you'd experience, or what your idea from a human perspective is, like an archangel, but on like a mass of archangels. So that's dragon energy. So it's such an intensity that it's like 10 suns. So it could annihilate any physical form. It has that much power. And we weren't ready to be able to harness or kind of hold this kind of energy up to now, because almost like we weren't like worthy of it. We weren't worthy of heart. Like we weren't able to manage that in a righteous way, in a way. Does that make sense? But that is part of this painting too, because it's really important, because it is about you shifting into these other spaces within yourself. It's like no more pretending that, you're just a human being that's going to work. You're a spiritual being having a human experience. So anywhere in your life where that is not the case, where you can't be who you are, where you're not able to be your spiritual being in a human body, where that might kind of become harder to be, those are the parts that are asking you to stop choosing.
Stop choosing the old.
Stop choosing the old. You need to expand. Think of yourselves as angels. You need to expand your wings. It's almost like they're busting out your back, and you can't pretend that they don't exist anymore. And so everyone's got to get out of your way so your wings can come out. And it's not a violent thing. It's a very beautiful thing. It's when we're resisting the shift with this, that's where we have a hard time, and that's when we start coming face to face with resistance and conflict. So if there is conflict or resistance somewhere in your life, it is a part of you that's asking for you to love, because it's afraid of coming into this space for whatever reason. And you have to look at that within yourself, what that might be. And then second of all, they're asking you to start listening to spirit. Start really cultivating that relationship. It really is you on multi-dimensional levels. If you want to get really crazy, it's you. It's you, who you are when you're not here. So you use that as guidance to help lead you into the life that you're trying to create. Because most of all of you that are here are looking and aching for a purpose. Like, what am I here to do? I'm ready. Count me in. I'm in. And that's what this is about. You can no longer get it outside of you. It's almost like the rites of passage is you listening to yourself and backing it up. And as soon as you do that, that is the keys to the universe, and then you get your dreams come true. But you have to be willing and be fearless and brave enough to actually back up whatever your heart wants. It's not easy. It's very vulnerable, and most of the times we don't feel like there's air in those sails, especially if you have worth issues. But that's part of the physics of how we embody light on this planet. I'm not going to go into that, but it's just the darkness, how we needed the dark to experience the light. So you have to face your fear. It's like that's your dragon. You have to face your fear so whatever that is for you. And sometimes it could be saying no to a coworker, or quitting a job, or ending a relationship, or choosing to travel to so-and-so, or whatever. Like, those are your own things. Those are your own pulling your sword out moments. And you're going to keep doing that until you start revving up enough potential energy and kinetic energy, right? To where then, I mean, it's really exciting. I mean, it's a volcano. What's that?
I think it's really exciting.
It is. There's so much more going on. And you guys can feel it, and if you can tap into feeling it with us, even in this present moment of now, it's almost like everything can change. I think it's just you, Jamie. I keep feeling these dragon eggs and all this stuff.
Sorry.
No,
sorry, not sorry. I think not sorry.
No, but I did feel you in this painting, partly because of some of the elements in it. But you see, we're co-creators of this reality. If you're hearing this message, you came here for this exact reason, to co-create, to bring more light into this planet. And that means choosing love, but doing the hardest thing, which is loving yourself. We didn't think it was going to be like, we can fight for anybody. But that's not what this is about. This is the hardest journey that we all have to take, which is the journey within. And that's the sacred feminine, and that's what's rising, and that's what's coming back into balance, and all of these things. You know these things.
So said in a human way, what does that mean? It means feeling the feels. It means breaking apart what it is that you think about absolutely everything. What are the programs that you've bought into that do not align with you? What are the ones that do align with you? You have to break bread with those things. You can no longer avoid it. We're going to start implementing systems and practices that allow this sacred going within. And this is a message for someone's life purpose who's listening. There are things that are going to begin now that are much, much, much needed. We must feel all the feels within, all of them. All of them. Every one. You won't avoid resentment or anger or shame or guilt or unworthiness. My dear friends, there's nothing wrong with them in the first place. And you're going to feel them. And you're going to notice every thought that you truly feel and have inside of your beautiful vessel, even if they're not in this timeline. And you're going to be like, what the heck is that? Well, guess what? You got to own it. It's yours. It is about accountability. The power of the dragon is the power of you. It is not separate. You have the power of the atomic bomb. You have that much control over the creation in this reality. It's here now. Feel this. My words suck, and I can feel my whole body vibrating and remembering this wisdom and this mastery. I can feel it. But the words suck. If you were to listen with these words later, they could mean nothing, and they could mean everything, because it requires that multidimensional feeling space. All of our being in alignment, remembering who we are, feeling into that, being at peace, being safe. Why is the volcano red? Why is fire red? I would invite you to sit in that conversation. Something that can destroy represents a color that means safety. That's the mastery of self. What do we do when we remember we can take away everything and anything? That's what we've been doing for thousands of years. We've known our power. And we've remembered that we don't destroy with it. We love with it. We build up. Not to say that things don't die. Things do die. That is birth. They are the same thing. It is time to remember that. We can talk those words all day and night, but that is a mastery. That is the yin and the yang. That is the black and the white. That is the no thing and everything. That is the oneness. The full circle completion of you. It is in, there we go. Yeah, okay, somebody just got it. Yes, yes, yes. It is the remembering. You can feel that. Now what do you choose? Choose it. Create. What's authentic for you? And if you're not sure, then sit here a little bit longer. What do you like? What don't you like? What matters for you? And I'm going to remind you of some of the human things because I love to help with the human things. If you're getting into this person did this, or this person did that, or this is a problem, you might want to come back to yourself, because all of that is not true. Unless you choose it to be, and then it is. And yet you do not need to live there. Not ever. I'm going to say this in a very human, simple way that will activate your brains. And I partly don't want you to go into your brains or your thinking self. So I want you to stay in your heart space. I'm going to say it for the sake of the good conversation. Noticing how you talk and what you talk about, whether or not that feels good. It's really that simple. It's simple stuff. I don't feel good worrying about things. I'm still getting better at this every day. And yet I can begin to feel it quicker and quicker. I'll go, oh, what does that mean? I'll be like, actually, no, I don't want to be worried about anything. It's exhausting. Peace out. I'm out again. Come on back, right? This is some of what I'm talking about, that sacred temple within. This is the temple. We're going to create it within, and then we're going to have spaces and places, physical places that do this.
She's surrounded by water, right, in the painting. So in that way, it is the thing that's housing her is this field of water, which is spiritual sustenance, but also emotional mastery. So really trusting how you feel. And that is not always easy. depending on if you've experienced trauma or not. And I need to move. So I know we're so serious today, which is so interesting. It is interesting how serious we are. One, we'd never know until we're here in the moment, right? But how it's coming in is very intense and very... So we're honoring that. Thank you for honoring that. And when it is meant to shift, it will. We always are getting exactly what we need every moment of every day. Always. A huge piece of this painting is about creating this knowing of self by her eyes are shut, right? Her eyes are shut. Her eyes are shut. She's going within. She doesn't care what's going on outside of her. She knows that that actually is created by doing this. And if it is, it's a frequency thing. It is aligning, your thoughts with your words, with your actions, and all of those things, and healing and becoming aware of your thoughts and what aligns with you and what doesn't. All the things we talk about. But then it's about breathing life into what aligns with your heart. Breathing life into it. Meaning, if you're going within, you're like, man, I really don't. Somebody must not really like something because I keep bringing this up. I really don't like this job or whatever. I really don't like this job. Like, I'm going to go within. I just don't like it. I've worked the problem. I like the people, but I don't really like the job, whatever it is. You recognize that that's your true truth. That's your truth, and you breathe life into that. Well, you create boundaries around that. You get yourself out, or you shift things, or what don't you like? You start having those conversations, but you breathe life into what it is that your heart wants. Your heart is your compass. You want to be a singer, breathe life into it. And the thing is, if it's like a blow-up doll, think about how many breaths it takes to blow up doll. Think about it though, you're broke, right? You would have to blow so much breath in it. So it's not like a one and done kind of thing. How many times I've had to blow life into me being an artist? I'm still having to do it. And there's still times when it's half deflated and I'm like, I don't know if I have it in me.
I think she quit on Monday, actually.
Oh, I did. I actually did.
That's okay.
It's been one of those weeks.
And that's okay. So
it is okay.
Yeah.
I had to here's the thing, I was not allowing myself to fully go there. And so it was this drawn out process of months of me going, no, I don't like it. No, it's fine, I'm going to make it work. No, I don't really like it. Because I wouldn't even really let myself have that authentic space. Finally, I did, and I'm like, I freaking hate this. I don't want this. I hate this. And I'm just in that feeling. And it was only then when I fully embraced all of the anger, all of the resentment, all of the pain, that
the struggle.
No,
thank you.
Done.
I'm done. Yeah.
And I followed through with it. I said things. I, talked, and I was like, and then I was like, oh, okay. And then I went to bed the next day, and I was like, what are you doing? Well, I like it.
Right. But there is a death in that because she set a boundary. She said, I'm done. I'm done with any struggle. I'm done with any resistance. I'm done. There's power in that. And we can't have power if we don't authentically go, yeah, I'm done. I'm quitting. Now, I'm over here going, yep, you do you quit. You go ahead. And I'm going, okay. Like, she's an amazing artist. She's like literally like channeling the universe like nobody else is even doing this. Okay. But that doesn't even matter because who cares what I think? And I'm not in that experience. She is. And she is the only one who gets to say. And if she wanted to go make blow-up dolls for a living, I would support the shit out of that.
Hey, it sounds like I have a market. I can paint them. Anyways, this is sounds like fun. Find your joy, yes.
It's Fritos last month, so.
Fritos.
Remember?
Yeah, let's blow it though. That would have been funny.
Yeah, missed the videos. I have to go back and watch it. It's funny. It's important to have fun and make light of. It is important to be messy and authentic. And that's part of this journey. It is this authenticity. And when you're in this frequency, in this space right now, whether you're online or in person, you can feel it. There's no judgment. So we get to be hot messes. We get to be really mad. And we can all go, yeah, oh my God. And we get to be really sad. And we get to go, yeah. And then we're okay. And we're better for having had the experience. We're better for having moved through it. And that's what this is all about. This month, I've been guided to remind myself and others that outside of this sacredness is going to be chaos. And I've been saying this for months. And I'm going to say it now because it's here. It's not outside of this any longer. It's now here. And hold on, they're telling me to. I didn't know I was going to say this, so I'm going to just say it. I am being guided that it actually will not be chaotic for everyone. And I had no idea. That this is where it splits up right now.
It's a turning point.
This is where some will be in chaos and some start going to more peace, more heaven on earth. And this is the invitation that I have for all of you listening and watching, and come over here to peace and joy. It's available.
And with that is responsibility. I mean, the ticket to get on the train of peace is taking responsibility.
Yeah.
If you're blaming, if you're criticizing, if you're comparing, like, hey, I would have a good job if it wasn't for Joe, or, right? Not like, hey, I'm creating this situation for myself. What's in this for me? What am I trying to learn? The ticket is responsibility, that you are the master creator of your reality, truly.
Mm-hmm.
This is the turning point. This is the tipping point. Not like words can be destructive, but it's trippy. For those of you that have experienced what we would consider the new earth reality, it's very different. It's a place of empowerment, and you have so much love, but you're so present at the same time that it doesn't matter if somebody else is having an experience over there. Like, you just send them love and you honor where they're at. There's no more like enmeshment and, what's the other word?
Problems.
It's like, yeah, what do I want to create today?
It's all about
where are we going
choice.
today?
Exactly. Noticing that if you don't like something, you don't like it. I know I say that all the time, but it is really important. Our brain is going to need some moments to acclimate to this new way of thinking. And that's why the painting, like we're going to acclimate all of these parts. Our physical bodies, right? How we're eating and drinking is changing. How we're thinking is changing. The feeling space, which is the thing that I'm probably the most passionate about right now, is because I feel it's the one area that is the most imbalanced. And that's not totally true, because I feel like we're imbalanced about the food too sometimes. Anyway, but the feeling space, I feel like it doesn't have a space half the time. We want to be logical. We want to have a top down. We want to give you the facts. The facts are great, but seriously, like that's all we got is some facts? And you're going to give me research? Research, I love you. And do you know how slow you move? Like, I just want to say that out there. Like, it is the slowest moving thing, because first of all, you just hone in on one little dot, and then you don't even consider all the other elements that are affecting that dot, because you just want to break it down to really know that that one dot is really going to be significant for something. It's okay. With love, we need to.
It's not your
expand.
journey. Research is not your journey.
No. I think I would partly love it if we could incorporate, but really, to make it statistically significant, evidence-based, it's going to hone in on that one thing, and it's lovely, it's beautiful, and it's very, very slow. Very, very, very slow. And we can move much quicker than that. In fact, we can move mountains because we're utilizing all of those things, not just logic. We're implementing all those unseeable parts that aren't provable. We just know that they are, and they will eventually prove them. I mean, that will happen.
Yes.
What do you think?
I just wanted to kind of add to that, you know, this new reality, it is about really trusting yourself. It is about really honoring and trusting yourself to where the energy and information is so different now to where you're only going to know what you need to know when you know it. Meaning you wake up every day and you just are that open and you trust that much. And that takes time, man. I mean, there's a lot of parts of me that like to control. Right? And so I would control the outcome of my reality. So I had to really learn how to let go of that control to be even open to the possibility of whatever I wasn't even thinking of. And can you live in that kind of flow? And then that's why society and things has to switch so much, because it has to allow for that kind of flexibility. Because truly that's where we are all becoming, and that's where we're all going. So how do we create systems? How do we create organizations? How do we create businesses that allow for that kind of flexibility and equality? You know, and it's possible. There are companies out there now that have done it. There are institutions that are creating that, you know. Partly I'm saying that because it's like, but you have to, on a day-to-day basis, start learning how to trust yourself in the moment, meaning your own path to ascension is exactly whatever's coming up for you in the moment, right now, today. And if you're in sadness for frickin' 4 days, don't move yourself out of it. The fastest way through it is in it, or whatever. Through it. The fastest way through it is through it.
The fastest way out of it is through it.
So, yeah. They're wanting to go somewhere else.
Yeah, they do. I feel it too.
Let's
And
see.
it's an entourage that I don't recognize. It's like a new entourage. And it definitely feels like the dragons are with it. And I truly, like, I don't know that I felt them in physical form like this. It feels like they're here.
It feels like they are, well, I'll just tell you what I'm saying. There are other sentient beings from other parts of the universe that have been working with planet Earth for a very long time. And you guys would know them as, the Nocturians are the closest thing that I recognize. This trying to get me to say something else, but I don't. This is why I patrol it. They brought with them light language, basically is the closest thing that they understand, which is basically programmed light to implement, like kind of go into the Earth's crystalline grid, and even in the sun. They're kind of working and adding energy into the sun and into the earth to help facilitate this great awakening. And they said that this is just a shift that's just started happening. So there's like a huge new wave. Okay, they're just saying it's a huge wave of change, a wave of this awakening. Because yes, remember, 3 waves. This is like the second. This is the second wave of those 3. Right? Where's that painting? Yeah, it's not here.
They're telling me that they're after Cryon. So Cryon was part of the first wave. So they leave, they come in place now next.
That's cool.
So once Cryon leaves, I mean, they're right now they're both here, and then Cryon will leave soon, and his entourage, and they're not. Who have huge chills too. Me too.
Yeah.
And that's why he was of magnetic service, because the magnets
yeah.
have to be first.
Yeah, which is why the magnetics of our bodies needed to be shifted first, which is what we've been working on in the message that we've been sharing for a decade. So we need to fix the magnetics on the planet, and then with us, and then next is what can you, it's about the light. So it's about what you cannot see. It will not be so seeable. It will be more of the unknown. So it will be much faster than research, Brenda. They're literally making fun of me. They're like, no, this is going to be so much faster. And it's going to be integrating the light into the cellular level, not the magnetic level. I don't know what that means exactly, because I'm not a scientist, but okay, for those of you out there that are It's a cellular level, not a magnetic level. I wouldn't even understand the physics of it.
Crystalline.
Maybe, yeah, it's crystalline.
Crystalline
Yeah.
structures. Here and
Yeah.
us.
So very cool. So they want to talk about something. What is it that you would like to talk about? I would like to talk about what an honor it is to be here. And they speak of how they are in awe of how quickly we're all moving. And they do remind me of things that I've heard before, that the whole galaxy is watching. I mean, more universes are watching us do this. And they do say that they are ahead of schedule, and there's no fucking schedule. And they do say that there's no fucking schedule, and you're ahead of schedule. Like you are all choosing love so strongly, so much. You're moving very quickly. They are here to help. Utilize them. What are you getting at? They're showing me the grids. They're showing me the shifting of the grids and the tracks. They're showing me how they work and how it affects the DNA of everything. The DNA of our beings, the plants, the animals, and they're leaving it. So they're just showing me what they're doing, and they're saying like we're barely starting yet, but we're here. We're kind of letting ourselves be here, letting you know. But they are saying something like they put things in the earth when it was time, when it was ready. So now they're like almost like unearthing those or opening those up in the dimensions that are now open, which Wendy spoke of, is what they say. Wendy spoke of these dimensions in the painting. They are in the painting. They want you to know that you paint in the third wave. That's why.
Ahead of time.
Ahead of time.
Yeah.
You paint from the third wave.
I always painted the future. I always knew that.
They would like to ease your burden, though. It's in this realm that it needs to shift. And that's for some others as well. In this room and listening online.
So just say yes.
Just say yes. Yeah. And they're not stopping, so they would like to talk some more. They actually want to talk to you, my friend, which would embarrass the shit out of you, so I won't do it.
Oh,
I am looking at you. That's who they want to talk to. Sorry. Not sorry. It is what it is. There are many new things that we are allowed to move into, and it's a choice of whether or not you move into them. It is a willingness, choice. I can't stress that enough. They're inviting everyone. They're inviting everyone right now into this shift. Make something easier. I don't know, something to do with the dragons. It's something to do with the crystalline grid and the magnetics too, because they're doing both. Because the density is still here, so they have to work with it right now.
Yeah, but you almost have to give permission because it's in your body. It's like in your cells, to where you have to, it has to move around things in your cells, where because you have free will, it has to follow the old program. That's what it feels like. It has to follow the old program, and so you have to give permission. And honestly, those, basically the old earth paradigm kind of things, it's not just thinking and feeling, it's actually in your cells. You have to give, because you were born in that era. We were all born in that era. You have to give permission.
Yeah. So those listening right now online, I want to make sure that this is for you as well. I can feel you. You are a part of this conversation. So if you so choose, it will, can you tell me what I can tell them about the shift? Oh. Oh. Okay. So they're reminding me that when Cryon, I don't know if are you guys familiar with the channel of Cryon? So he's someone that was channeled 36 years ago.
Started in 1993, I think.
Yeah. He started coming through, letting us know that the planet was going to shift. So the North Pole shifted, we knew that the grids would change. And when he came, he channeled through, he said, if you so choose, you can upgrade now. If you choose this upgrade, you will go through, and he gave like a specific time. You will go through
it was like 40 days.
Something.
It took 40
day
days.
shift.
Yeah.
They are reminding me of that. They say the same thing is true for this one. It's shorter and it's easier because you're shifting in your frequencies, but it's the same kind of, if you do choose this, there will be this adjustment period. But I can't tell the exact number.
I hear 20, I see 22.
Okay. So there's this adjustment period of you might want to buckle in for some days because you will go through some human discomfort on purpose. Okay. They're very, very happy with that. Those that needed to hear it and are willing have said so.
So whenever you wanted to, like when we did choose that, when we listened to it from Cryon, I know the exact moment I did it. I was in my car driving to work at Lay's request. I was very young. Anyways, and it was in that moment, everything did change. I mean, yeah. So whenever, if you feel called to, if you remember this moment, you just have to say, yes, I'm choosing to shift. And then drink this Kool-Aid. I'm just kidding.
We're sharing with our Kool-Aid. Okay, they're letting me go. They're off my back. I feel this pressure. I do. I feel it until I'm like, okay, are we getting? Nope. And then, yes, we're good. Except we have to talk later. Apparently, which is fascinating.
Which is cool. They operate on a different dimensional plane. There are people in this room and even online that you guys interact with other dimensional beings of your own that is needed. And that's where it's really about learning how to trust yourself and trust your own guides and trust whatever is coming to you. Always of love and light. Always keep choosing that, whoever and whenever you're talking to anybody, it should always be somebody of love and light, right? Even in the human form. So I'm saying that because there's a diverse group of people here, and then you have different work to be done. Some of you weave with the earth, and so you're going to be weaving with other dimensional beings that would be more along the lines of like a fairy realm or the tree realm or like
the archangels. They work very closely with the archangels. That's really important,
with the earth. Yeah. Just trust. It's just about trusting yourself and whoever you are and loving that. Whatever you naturally love is who you are. So you know what I'm saying. Follow the joy. For those of you that have never done this before or aren't familiar with our process, the second half of this event we read for random people for the time that's allowed, and so the next 45 minutes or so. And there's people online, there's people here. You guys can't see them, but it's a full room, hundreds of people. Calm down. Anyways, thank you for helping us. They all have blow-up dolls. Customize them. Hopefully they're not your own face. But if your name isn't called, don't worry about it. It really is about you, just like we said, connecting in the present moment, watching how you feel and what resonates with you. You're going to find that we're speaking to you, even though we might be speaking to somebody else, because it's multidimensional. So I just wanted to kind of say that. And so just kind of, because whatever does arise is going to be for a lot of different people. Okay?
Always, yep. Always.
I'm going to do this.
Yeah, I feel like you're supposed to be the name picker.
I feel like Pat Sajak. I was going to say that, too.
Zach.
Zachary, are you there?
Zachary's online.
Yeah, but he said he might just have his phone on or something. Zach?
There's that.
Zach, are you there? Zach? Are you with us? Because if he's not here, I don't want to
Yeah, no.
wait for him. Maybe he fell asleep. He tends to do that. The energy, you know?
Yeah, the energy.
Zachary. All right.
Hey.
Okay.
Time for the understudy.
Yeah.
Yep.
I guess this will be for Zachary too.
Yeah, it's true.
Okay. No messages. Just want to make sure. All right. Here we go. Here we go. Kristen.
This one's online too.
Kristen, can you hear us? Are we back? What time are we supposed to come back?
Hi.
Oh,
Hi,
you're right.
there she is.
Hi, cool. Just want to make sure you could hear us and that you were
Present.
present and willing. You're willing, right?
Yes.
Okay, cool. Because normally we ask everybody here too.
We just assumed we're all in it.
All right. So, Kristen. I know. I don't know you. So, Kristen, they're really excited that you're here. In some ways, it marks a new beginning for you. In some ways, it was like brave. It was like brave for you to be here. So I just kind of want to honor you for that. Takes courage, but in some ways, you're choosing yourself. So you should be thanking yourself. But I'm thanking you because there was some trepidation, just a little bit of fear. And that it's all good. I mean, this is not an easy process, choosing yourself. There's definitely, yeah, so yes, they're showing me that you are releasing a lot of, it's been time, there's been this a huge amount of growth in the last year or two. They're showing me that you have let a lot of it go. You've learned how to heal, you're figuring this out. But there's like the sense of urgency, but not just sense of urgency, but you're moving through things so quickly. It feels like you're really moving through these things quickly. So they just want to be like, you're just kind of, you go girl. Like, you're like, nope, nope, yes, yes, nope, nope. Like you just keep kind of going through it. So partly I'm just reading your energy so I can get to where they want me to go. It feels like once you create these boundaries, and that's what you're doing right now, it feels like you're creating boundaries. In some ways, you're creating a container so that you can actually do what you want to do. So you're creating space for it. You can do this. You are very intuitive yourself. Yeah. Some of your guides are really sassy. So I'm like, calm down. Maybe it's your energy. It's so intense. It's almost like I'll just explain to you what I'm doing. So I can feel you and I can feel your power and I can feel what you're here to do. And when I feel what you came here to do, I feel a lot of anger. And I'm saying that to you so you can partly tame it. And I appreciate you for starting the circle because, whoever starts the circle is meant to lead. So kind of step into more of a position of being seen. And that feels like something that it feels like in some ways you've always done that, but in this way it's new for you. And they're asking you to step forward and be seen and take up more space in a spiritual way or in the weird way that you do, in whatever way that is. So I'm just kind of honoring that. But in this way, there is anger, and they're wanting to name this for you to help you release it because some of it is past life. Some of all of the past life things are representative in this life. So even if you don't remember the past lives, it doesn't matter. You can, you have enough experiences and information from what happened in this life to release the past life ones. Because it isn't okay. And I feel like it's such a beautiful message from everyone listening because as you move into your power, there is going to be anger because you're going to be mad at yourself for not being it, and you're going to be mad at other, like, men for stopping you, for other people stopping you. Like, that's part of the journey. Is like, it's almost like if it was like a layer of awareness, that's like just one of the waves that you have to move through in getting to yourself. And it is anger. It's about all the times that you never spoke up. Did you want to say something?
No.
Does that make sense?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Behind the anger is what's more important. So whenever you're angry, a practice that you can do is try to go to the emotional space, meaning the sadness and the grief, because there's actually a lot of grief in there, and you hold that in your heart. So that feels like a back thing, heart thing. Does that make sense?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay, let me see.
And if it's with the back, it's about receiving. So it's allowing yourself to receive. So you could be angry that the love wasn't there, and that's very normal. Just shifting this system of functioning for your own self, like shifting how you show up for life, that's what you're being guided into now. And part of you is resisting because it does feel like, well, no, but I'm really mad, and that makes so much sense. And so allowing that anger to not drive things and just get it in the back seat, because it's driving it and it's resisting where you're being guided to go. Okay.
Yeah. It makes sense, and then some of it's just been a wee bit fuzzy.
What do you mean?
Just direction-wise.
Oh, for you, yeah. And this is where I'm glad that you asked that question, because it is in your heart space. You've been conditioned to go into your head space, and it is in the heart space. And so if you can be more emotional and make decisions more emotionally, which is counterintuitive to everything that you've been taught, that's actually your fastest way through, because it's almost like you need to go back to your innocence and that childlike wonder and that childlike joy, and that's in that emotional heart space, because your feelings never lie. And so it's really going to help guide you to the next thing. Like, what brings you joy? Like, you need to figure that out. Like, what brings you joy? What do you want to do? Because there's no right or wrong answer. You know, you're a creative being, and you know, what do you really like? And I feel like you're figuring that out. And so feeding, you know, breathing life into those things. And it does feel like you're very intuitive. And if you were to explore that, that would lead you down kind of a rabbit hole of things. It feels like it is leading you down a rabbit hole of things. Because you're very different. You have like a skill set that is really unique. It is very masculine and feminine. And I say that because that's still like terms that we use. Like, it's very mechanical. Like, you understand how things work. You like the science behind things, or you like how figuring things out. And now it's like, incorporate that into like quantum mechanics, you know, take that into spirituality. And how do you know what you know? Because as soon as you even take that perspective, right, you know, then we must be having a shared feel. Like, even me being able to read you, how can I do that? We must be connected on some level, on some dimensional plane that science hasn't necessarily figured out yet. But it's like, you love this stuff. It's like, follow what brings you joy. You're not going to get there, though, through the headspace, because the head is like the research, where it's really slow. You have to trust it's almost like, to get back in the balance, you got to trust your spirituality and in your intuition.
In your heart, in that feeling space that when he's talking about. And I'm being guided to remind you of what we spoke of at the beginning, which is the judgment and the criticism. Those systems of functioning, those thoughts within your thinking self, they're harming you. Because you're judging yourself, you're judging others, you're criticizing others. So I would invite you, what I would want to haunt you with from this is, think about what it means to be angry without judgment or blame. Right? Because the being wants to go into these right and wrong, and it feels like you've been around people for lifetimes who functioned that way. So again, no judgment of them, of you. Let it go, my friend. You're free now. and allow yourself to be free from that system of functioning. It truly is the quickest way through this. It is part of your life purpose, because this is one of the lessons that you said you would hold for all of us. And in that, I honor you also. I thank you, because we're all helping each other. You are holding this very challenging top-down hierarchy type frequency of
And it doesn't work for you anymore either. I mean,
right.
No, none of it does. And that's been one of my, call it Achilles heel. And I feel like, not say fighting it, but it just effing sucks.
Yeah.
It just, I mean, every day, and it's just, the thoughts pop in and you're like, what the hell? And I thought I dealt with this or whatever. And I'm like, is it mine? Is it someone else's? Blah, 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 because of being so empathic. And yeah, and trust me, trying to stay out of my head, it's like, that is just like, God, shift me. Like you were talking about earlier when you're saying, say yes, you know, say yes. And sleeping, please, God help me, you know, like all this stuff going on. I'm like, I'm doing my, like you said, I'm doing my best.
Yeah. You really are doing a great job.
Yeah.
I mean, in celebrating that, like you really are doing an amazing job. So.
Thank you.
And feeling into that. So, right, so changing that story. So now there's no criticism. Now, if you're doing everything right, what does that mean now? Right? That, and this is for everyone. I would invite you to know that. If you're doing everything right, then what? Now let the other stuff go. What do you choose now? You're right. You're in the perfect spot. You're doing the perfect thing. Set yourself free. This is going to be simple, but it's somewhat of a shift for you. Let go. I am so grateful that you're here, that you felt into all of this. You are a part of this group, truly. So I'm so excited that it worked out the way that it did.
And you're the first one, right?
That was so funny.
I know.
Anyways, thanks. Thank you. Thank you both.
You're so welcome.
You're welcome.
There's more from other people when we read for them too.
Okay.
You'll see. That was definitely for Zach too. So just officially.
Oh, you're right. Sorry. Jamie. Hello. It's a different channel. You guys know that. You know how to do this.
You knew that you'd be called tonight. So you knew to come. Yeah.
That's why you. Leave it alone. Yeah. I'm just gonna leave it alone, man. I was gonna. That was beautiful. Because in that way, that's how you're showing up for yourself, which is cool. Because you deserve that. I mean, there's an intimacy. There is an intimacy with you and I because I painted your dragon. So it feels like it's so strongly coming through. So I'm going to hold that energy so you can feel it, because I feel like you can see it through me. Like, you know what I mean? Yeah, in this way, as he's talking to me, it feels masculine to me, but whatever. As he's talking to me, I can see that, like, you're not trusting your imagination enough. It's almost like you don't realize how on you are when it comes to this other dimensional plane, this creative plane. That's why just playing and doing that kind of stuff is so helpful. But it's, yeah, he wants, whatever. They're polyamorous, I'm sure, in some way, but it's coming masculine. It's coming this way for me. He is showing me a memory, and it's so specific, so it feels like maybe this is the cellular thing that they want to take out of you, or they want to take this out of you. It's like this memory of you just playing. Is this okay? Yeah. Okay. You just playing and being just who you are, but young, and not the singing thing, because you brought that up before, but when you're just playing and you're kind of being imaginative, you were kind of like almost violently taken out of that space and shamed for it. And so now you're trying to go back to it. You're trying to go back to that imaginary space, that playful space, where that gift is, and that shame is there. Not it is shame, but there was a violence done to you. And the thing is, I'm saying violence because your adult being doesn't really understand how violent it actually was for you. And I want to tell you that it was violent. It was like slapped out of you. And whether or not it was physically slapped out of you, it was energetically slapped out of you, because you're very, very sensitive. You're very skillful. And so you have this awareness where you can, so they could have just been like, hey, knock it off. And it was like getting slapped. Okay? Same difference. But I almost want you to see it as a physical abuse, because if you saw it as a physical abuse, you would actually be like, well, I'd stand up for myself if somebody physically hit me. But what happens when somebody's energetically slapping you with their words? It's just as violent as being hit over the head with the back of their hand. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Somebody else need to hear that too. There's a way to weave, and this is where you can use your imagination, because there is no right or wrong way. It's like this new energy is about using your imagination. So if we say we have this memory and you can embody it, and here you are, and let's say these two people can't see each other, then what do? We build a doorway, we build a window. What do? We create a bridge. Do we weave light in between them so they can remember each other? All of those could work. Partly I'm showing you this because this is how powerful you are, and this is how powerful we all are.
Yeah. Okay.
What?
The dragon wants to take me somewhere else. So kind of...
I taste iced tea. Very weird. Is that you? Is that you? Somebody? Iced tea. Anyways.
I like iced tea too.
Yeah, I don't drink iced tea. It's weird. All of a sudden, I couldn't taste anything else. You know what I'm talking about? The distinct iced tea taste.
Yes.
Which,
I have a friend who really loves iced tea, but I wouldn't associate her with what you were just describing.
yeah, no. Interesting. He's telling me that I did depict him correctly. Like you need, like that playfulness, you're all of those parts and more. But in some ways, like those are the treasures. These are the treasures. These are the pieces. These are the things that you're protecting. Like this is it. Like in some ways, that's partly why it was done that way. I don't know why I'm bringing up your painting for your reading, but yeah, just keep playing more. Learn to trust your imagination and change the program that, and you are doing that, especially with that book, but it is about you there's a belief system in there that what you feel isn't right. There's a program in there that's just like, nope, what you feel is wrong. So you try to go a backhanded way to your feeling space, but it's like, no, because you got to face that initial. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Okay.
I do hear and feel that you want to play with others. So you want to get your friends together and play. So it's time for that. It's definitely your dragons that bring that forward. And there is this element of worrying way too much. Way too much. And with love, I say this because I get it. It's so new, it's so weird, and then everything around you is so weird and so new too. So it's like, so then you can easily or effortlessly like feed on that too. But there's nothing to worry about here, nothing at all. And you know that, so I'm reminding you of that. Okay, just like there's nothing to worry about here. Your life purpose is unraveling. It is going to be very different from what you think it is. So stop thinking about it. You have no idea. That's really what they want me to tell you. You have no idea what you're doing.
Yeah.
Thanks.
And I'm going to kind of say that again because it's really important. You have no idea what you're doing. Stop pretending like you do and just do what you need to do.
And just follow the joy. Just keep following the joy. You'll figure it out. You're figuring it out.
And that sucks, and that's great because this is your superpower. This is what you know how to do. Man, they keep showing me like just these worries. Like you're planting these like nuggets of worry, like even about your life and your choices and your personal life, and like they keep coming back to it. Stop it! 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 Yeah, fascinating. Because like even about bills or cars or like I don't even know. They're showing it to me in all these things, and that's not even your.
Preoccupied with all of that lately.
Yeah.
Car accident happened.
Yeah, right. And I remember, but yeah, it's just so weird. But they're showing me like, okay, stop now, stop. Break time, break time. In fact, take a lifetime break from all of that. Easier said than done. I get it. I walk the walk too. So just easing into or leaning into the fear of what that means of letting go, the fear of not worrying, right? Because we worry for a reason. Like we worry because it gives us something to do with all that worry. So how do you not worry? Well, you partly don't. You partly say, okay, listen, I know that I'm worried. I know I'm afraid, but you have to get out of the driver's seat. You can get in the back seat, but I really don't want to talk all the time. I can talk maybe once a day, purposely, intentfully, but you acknowledge that when those parts of you arise and you take it back in the back seat. I'm not driving with you. You're not picking the songs. You're not telling me where to go. No, thank you. I don't want to go to Worry Town. No, I'm out. I know you know these things. I'm just reminding you. Practice.
But it's almost like you don't care about that stuff, man.
Yeah.
It's almost like you're pretending because it's like somebody taught you an adult worries. And so you're like, okay, no, I'm an adult. I am an adult and I am going to worry. We're worrying right now. We're worrying really well right now. And that's what it feels like, because it feels like your husband worries or he puts value in that. So like if you're doing it the right way, that means you're really taking it seriously and you're worrying. I'm worrying so hard.
No, we do. We wear it as a badge of honor. We're proud of ourselves. But not that we consciously
don't care.
But yeah, but you don't care.
You don't. You
You're
don't
free.
even play by those rules.
Exactly.
Thank you. No, I don't care. I've been struggling with setting that boundary though, and I've been a little frustrated with myself for not sticking to that more because I really wanted this month in particular to just be about. And I feel like I've been fighting enough.
And it's perfect because all these things, all these reasons of why you can't play are perfect representations of where you have belief systems that won't allow you to play. Because there's always going to be things. You actually just have to choose it. Like, nope, I'm not worried. I'm actually not going to worry about that. Now, if he's making you worry because it's like that's part of your, it feels like that's part of the dynamic, sorry, or whatever, I don't know. But then it's just going to be about boundaries. Which is like he can choose to worry.
And you can leave him to it. He can live in Worry Town. I mean, truly, it's okay. We have to live there sometimes, as long as we need to live there until we're ready to move out. Leave everything that you got there in the town and walk away. Peace out. I don't want to live there. You definitely don't want to live there. You don't really live there, really, but you're trying to like accommodate it somehow while living over here at the same time. And you're getting called out. You're like, you can't live in two places at one time, so you got to pick. We both know where you're gonna go. But you gotta let that go. And for whatever reason, it's like tied into your identity, probably because of like some of this, like, but I'm an adult, and there is something too. Well, for
we're
adults,
all like that, right?
Okay,
like
we all need to stop.
If we're taken seriously as an adult, we have, we have to worry, and we have to act like we know what we're doing, and we can't laugh. I don't know.
Or be messes, or not know what's going on, or not be perfect, or whatever version of it is, okay? Everything is changing. Everything is perfectly fine. You know that. I know you know that. I'm going to say it out loud, though, because there has been some worry here. Your dragons are all here. There's more than one now, so I don't know where the heck the rest of them came from, but they're here. And they're definitely playing around, and they're jumping around, and they're just having a grand old time, and would really like for you to join them. There are others who will join you in this play, and it's being woven. It's just, you have to clean house. You're cleaning house right now. I feel like you know that too, okay? So glad you're here. This is definitely going to help. They definitely are a part of the entourage of this next wave. Yes, you know that too. Okay, very cool. So you don't know what you're doing yet, so stop worrying about that. You are gonna figure it out. There's gonna be such ease in that. Just keep showing up.
But it does feel like something new, like on the third wave too, or something like coming. So just
very cool. It's very fun.
Lainey.
Oh, did you know what that did? I don't know why, but I blanked. And I had no.
You blanked?
Yeah, I wasn't like trying to draw it, which would be my usual personality. Okay. I didn't.
I love that we're starting there.
Oh, cool. Uh-oh.
What?
I don't know.
No, that's such a perfect thing. Because that's exactly part of the old energy is even manipulating. Like, I'm going to manipulate the outcome of this. I'm going to manifest whatever. I mean, you're allowed to be a co-creator manifestor. I don't mean that. But in some ways, there's this energy and this frequency of control. Right? And I feel like in that, too, is this old earth energy. And it's like, we can't do things like that anymore. Definitely, if you want abundance, you want healthy relationships, you want certain things like that, but I'm not going to be like, I need it to be Tom, what was this? Tom Gibson, or what was his name? I don't know.
What are we talking about?
I think Grandma's here, that's why. Ice-T Gibson. Yeah.
Oh,
that's so funny. I thought of Grandma too. She came to me the other day too. I haven't connected with her in years.
Oh, that has to be.
Yeah. Anyways.
Oh no. Yeah, she has something to do with Lainey.
Yeah.
I was just going to say, I wonder if I knew her, because there are a lot of old ones I know, but we don't remember it in this life.
Well, you remind me of her a little bit.
Yeah, she does.
You look like her. I mean, kind of. Okay. Not to take away from the iced tea or the, but that they want you to know that's how it comes. You just are open and know that all your needs are met always. So whether you're called or you're not called, you're always getting what you need. When let's say we're not called and we want to be called, right? And we want to be called, but we're not called. That is a perfect opportunity for you to look at a part of yourself that needs you, because what does it mean not to be called? Does that mean that you're not loved, or that you don't, because, right, that's when you start paying attention to all those thoughts. Well, I really had a need, I really wanted spirit to come through, and I needed this thing, or you know, being very aware or noticing, how did you feel rejected? Do you feel angry, or like, why is that even a conversation right now? Because if it was nothing, it wouldn't even be anything in your being. Partly I'm saying this for somebody else. And they want you to show you what that feels like. Did you notice how it felt like nothing? Like it didn't feel like anything. It's like breathing. You didn't have to worry. The headspace was not even attached to anything. That's how they want you to be, because it feels like you've been having some questions about things, or how do I try to maintain that space. That's this space where you're just noticing. Okay. The metal thing, they want you to work with the earth more, grounding. They're showing me that it's like your root. It's like your root. Your lower three chakras, all of our lower three chakras are having a freaking heyday with this awakening, because that is the part of our bodies that house the old paradigm the most, and that's the shift that's occurring. So grounding and getting the earth involved with it, because it's such a physical thing too, it can take away things, but it'll help you ground so you can feel safe. Because in some ways it feels like you don't feel safe to be here. You don't feel safe, so you don't feel safe. You don't feel safe. You don't feel safe.
Definitely see that.
And it feels like something that you always felt, have always felt. You've always felt this way. You've always felt unsafe. It's time to feel safe. But the only way to get there is by acknowledging how unsafe you felt. And how unsafe you feel now, especially in certain situations. And I just want to hold you. Not because you're not powerful, but in
Time to let yourself receive and be supported. It's time to allow yourself to know how sacred and precious and honored you are by everything in this universe. And I know part of you knows that, especially here and especially here, but in your being, in the rest of your body. Because it wasn't always safe. Of course it wasn't. And so if we don't do this work, right, we just assume that we're just not safe because that was the initial programming. It is what they want you to walk away with, though, is that they want to walk home with you. Your guides, your angels, they want to walk home with you and help you understand a new level of safety, of peace, of protection. I know you have immense amounts of faith. This is a little bit different. This is a physical knowing that all your needs are met and everything is possible. There it goes. Nice. Nice job. Yeah. Just open yourself. You are. In this, it's like an offering of, I want to say, it's an offering of changing your early life experiences, changing your stories, as if your early life experience didn't happen the way that it did. So on a cellular, crystalline level, history is rewritten. If we're holding on to the past, if we play out our history, we're playing it in our present, and then we recreate it for our future over and over and over and over and over and over and over. So we rewrite it. We take it out as if it didn't happen. We delete it from ourselves, from our bodies. But it requires healing and permission and power, which you have in space. There you go. That's a little bit better. It's even better. It's partly the message from Jamie too for you, as far as just stop thinking you know what you're doing and just be present and show up for the next thing, right? There's something to that. That's why you guys went next to each other. There's something else. I don't know. Are you getting?
Yeah.
Okay.
Right.
Yeah, go.
Okay, cool. And you brought this through, and it's in the painting, and it is what I'm about to describe as Christ consciousness. Okay, it is in the heart space, and it is about embodying the now. And Brenda's talking about when you are becoming aware and trusting your heart space. So, meaning you're trusting your emotional space, like that river around the being in the painting, right? You're trusting it. So if you have childhood memories that come up, you have childhood memories that come up. It's important. So as they're coming up, though, you're creating space for them, or you're creating safety for yourself while you're having the same maybe experience. That's how you're actually changing the past, and you're creating a new future. That's how you do it. Does that make sense? And that's partly why I said to you so many times, and I want you to think about that, how many things I had to I repeated to you, right? And that was important. Like, you don't feel safe. What part of you doesn't feel safe, right? Those are the questions you have to ask yourself. What part doesn't feel safe, right? And why, or whatever. You see what I mean? And then you create safety. And as soon as you start creating safety, that's going to change everything. Because it not only changes your past, it changes your future, because you do remember in this body, in this form, what safety feels like. Even though you experience not safe, you do know what safety is, and then from here on out, you're going to feel safe. So it's almost like it's empowering, right? It becomes empowering. I mean, that's what I got, the Christ consciousness thing.
Mm-hmm. And it does feel like a potential of change. It feels like it hasn't quite been chosen yet. And I wonder if it has to do with this evening and what you've chosen from this evening's events. Because I feel a potential where everything now changes, which I think you know. You're hearing that knock at the door. So you need to feel safe first, though.
Yeah, you need to feel safe. And it feels like you're mad at somebody. I mean, it's the same kind of, whoever we were talking about anger with. Oh, it's like you're mad. Somebody did something terrible to you. Like, it feels like somebody did something to you, okay? And it feels like you haven't felt safe since, and you haven't been able to kind of grapple with it. And you are very mad at this person, and you're blaming them for doing this thing to you, okay? That happened. Let's say, whatever, that happened, right? That, the blaming piece, remember we talked about it earlier on, is how you're giving your power away. That's how I would say it in a Native American way. Because even that did happen, and that needs to be reconciled with the actual doing of that. But it's not happening now, or if it is, you are now responsible for creating that safety for yourself, whether it's internally inside of your head or actually physically happening. Because now, if you're still angry at a person doing something to you, you must be doing it to yourself now then, if they're physically not in your life anymore. So if you can take responsibility that you must be, and figuring out, okay, and then I'm throwing it out there, you must be doing that to yourself. See if it sticks. Where might that be sticking inside of you? Where might you be holding yourself back? Where might you not be listening to yourself, or still giving away your power and letting somebody else choose whatever? You get what I'm saying? You recognize where you're doing it, you stop that, it changes everything. Do you get what I'm saying?
Yeah, and I want to honor that what I'm getting in this moment as well is that all three of the people that we read for, and actually even for Zach, everyone that was picked was invalidated, shamed, and abused for what their superpower is, meaning for what their life purpose is. So Kristen, even you, and I got chills on that, so that's my tell saying yes. So I'm going to invite everyone listening to this and here now to consider that there's some truth in that for them. It's too big of a theme. I've never seen one so concrete, and they're telling me yes, exactly. In fact, they're letting me know that it's even for us.
I mean, yeah.
So but he's going to tell you how mad she is. No.
Hey, I'm actually working through that. I'm sure you can tell. Except for, yeah.
You're allowed to be mad. It has nothing to do with not being mad. You are allowed to be mad. It makes sense that you're mad. The thing is that can you let go of the mad? Can you love the shame and the guilt? When our true selves are invalidated and rejected and abused, we think that we're a problem. And the thing that you came in here to shine with was the thing that was abused. So can you sit in the most uncomfortable feeling that exists for a human being, which is unworthiness, shame, guilt. I'm bad, I'm a problem. Can you sit in that and say, listen, no part of you is a problem and I get it. I love you so much. And you have something for me, for us, that we'd like to shine. What might that be? Let's be curious about that piece. Because that's, I'm getting heat chills, that's what they're offering. That's what they're saying for anyone listening. That is what they will help with. Because it was that wound that needed to take place to activate the awakening, to then shift into you living your life purpose. And here's the thing, we got a lot of help today. So let's take it. Let's say yes.
Yes. Mm-hmm. Oh yeah.
So that's what yours was. That's cool. Thank you. Researcher, of course, the researcher put all the puzzle pieces together for us.
Yeah, thank you for that. Isn't it neat though when you start seeing all of the connectedness? Cool. And honoring the anger and really going there. I mean, there's so many gifts in your feelings. Meaning, if you just we stop ourselves from being angry. We stop ourselves from having those experiences. And as soon as I allowed myself to actually be mad, because I've been, like I told you, I was fighting it forever. It was the moment I got to see everything, and I was like, I can see it now. And no, I don't want to throw the baby out with the bathwater, but I could see it. But
she could see where some of her boundaries are being crossed. She could see all these, which is like,
what I didn't like,
sweet.
What I actually didn't like, and
right. And it wasn't the whole thing, right? Which is some of what we do, because we think, well, then I just shouldn't be any whatever version.
Yeah, and there's so many layers. I mean, it takes layers to even get to that point, But so please give yourself the freedom of expression of just going there, so you can set yourselves free. Yeah. Set myself free. All right, so thank you so much for coming. Thank you so much for joining us online and sending out so much love. Until next time.
Yes.